What's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, and welcome to our 19th podcast. As always, I'm going to let Jim tell us what we're talking about today.
We're going to talk about Street Fighter V and all the complaints people have been having, and even not so much that, but the backlash from people who just don't seem to get it. So let's do something different with this one. Here's some tweets that I found from people basically bashing the people who are complaining about Street Fighter V and its, really lack of content. You have ones like this, other ones like this, and basically it seems like it's people who are mainly in the pro scene who are overly competitive online who don't seem to understand why people are pissed that a game that came out, you paid $60 for it. It's, again, one of those kind of only online experiences, and if you don't like playing online, you don't have any content, really. Now, yes, there's a single-player mode, but by all accounts, you can beat the story mode of every single character within, all of 2 hours? There's no arcade mode, which, how you don't have an arcade mode in any fighting game makes no goddamn sense. It's laziness. That's all it is. It's probably the simplest thing to code. You've coded 1,000 times before. No reason for it to not be there. And I'm sick and tired of hearing developers, especially one like Capcom, of all companies, to come out and say, oh, we're going to add this content later, and we're going to add this later. How about throw it all on the disc and release it day one? This is the company that's had day one on disc DLC before. They've had the nerve to do that. Back in the 90s, they would go and they would release 17 different versions of Street Fighter 2 because, we added a couple characters this time, or, we threw in a turbo bar this time. Bullshit like that. And it's the AAA gaming industry, again, just trying to fuck over the consumer. And it's getting out of hand. So people complaining about the server, and then people defending it, saying, it's day one. You should expect server issues. No, cockstink. I expect the servers to work in a multiplayer-only game. Are you going to sit there and say you didn't complain about SimCity, about Diablo 3? Hell, not even as bad, but maybe a game like Evolve, where the servers were absolute shit on a multiplayer-only game, on an always-online game, games with DRM that need to be online, and you can't play your game, and you're going to say, you have to expect it? Are you out of your mind? And then there's, of course, the competitive gamers, or the quote-unquote hardcore fighting game fans, who are just saying it's casuals complaining. Listen, cockstink, this game isn't just made for the competitive scene. Because you want to know why? Because no publisher in the world wants to just put their game towards such a niche market. And if they do, if that's the way the game's supposed to be, it damn well better not be $60. Because what the hell are you paying for at that point? And I just can't sit here and believe that people are defending this shit and that people are agreeing with the people defending it. Like, this is why the AAA game industry gets away with all this dumb shit. That's why pre-orders are still around. That's why season passes are still around. That's why games like Battlefront can come out with goddamn no offline content, basically, and have minimal content, rely on DLC, and people just go, whatever, I'm happy with it. I don't understand this mindset, and it's driving me nuts, and people just being so overly cunty about it and just not getting it. I'm just going to keep rambling, but here's Bri.
Well, it's funny to hear Jim say that because I'm a person who respects the shit out of the history of Street Fighter. But because of these so-called hardcore fans and the shit Capcom has pulled, I have a huge bad taste in my mouth for that game and the entire series, to be honest. Now, putting that aside, Jim pretty much covered most of what I was going to say, so I'll try and keep it short. But fine, if you're a competitive gamer and you feel that casual gamers, quote-unquote, shouldn't be complaining, well, why couldn't they just have the single-player mode, and it's not going to affect your multiplayer mode? There are plenty of AAA developers who are releasing content that is both multiplayer and single-player. Games such as Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, Look at the sheer amount of content on those discs. I mean, yeah, they came out with DLC, but it was shit that was worth paying for. You could spend 40, 60 hours by yourself going through a story mode, going through challenge towers, and guess what? There was still an online mode where you hardcore dickheads had to say, that's where you need to learn skill of the game. Besides that, the same assholes who are the hardcore Street Fighter guys are probably the same guys who are bashing games like Call of Duty for releasing the same shit. But look at Black Ops 3. They have a full campaign. They have a zombies mode. They have the Nightmare campaign mode. They have free run mode. They at least offer you shit to do if you can't be playing multiplayer. And Capcom, I don't want to hear that you couldn't get enough funding, even if you needed to have PlayStation help fund this game. You are a huge studio. You could have put more time into this. You've been a money whore for the past easily decade or more. I wish people would stop defending it. And you hardcore gamers out there, I don't know why you're defending it with it. Get out of your little bubble and just accept the fact that you overpaid for a game that you could have had the same content for $20 or $30. As gamers, we should all unite to put away our bullshit tendencies of calling each other out and really call out the assholes like Capcom who just want to shit on us and say, enjoy it. So let us know below what you think. I'm sure there's going to be some people that hate us, but remember, we're not knocking the game might play fucking perfectly, and it might be the most well-balanced fighter ever made, but that's not the point here. We're talking about the bullshit that Capcom is pulling, and these fans that are bashing other fans who are just complaining for wanting a fair game. So let us know below what you think. Thank you for checking out this video as always, and cheers, guys.
Cheers.